Imagine waking up to the sound of your furniture moving around on its own. This was how the Gooden family of Bridgeport, Connecticut, were introduced to the unseen force that would come to be known as the Bridgeport Poltergeist. In the heart of Bridgeport, nestled within the confines of Lindley Street, the Gooden family found themselves living a reality stranger than fiction. Their quiet, mundane life took a turn for the inexplicable. It began subtly, almost imperceptibly. Chairs would shift out of place, the television would turn on and off by itself, and doors would swing open without a breeze. But as days turned into weeks, the activities escalated. Objects would fly across rooms, seemingly propelled by an unseen force. The air would grow cold and heavy, a palpable sense of dread looming over the household. The Goodens were left in a state of perpetual fear and bewilderment, their home no longer a sanctuary but a playground for the paranormal. Little did the Gooden family know the worst was yet to come. The chilling incidents escalated in intensity and frequency, leaving the Goodens in a state of fear and confusion. The paranormal activities that were once a mere curiosity soon turned into a living nightmare for the family. The Gooden home on Lindley Street, once a sanctuary, began to feel more like a haunted house from a horror film. Let's delve into some of the most terrifying incidents that shook the Gooden family. One of the most unsettling occurrences was the levitation of their young daughter, Marcia. Imagine, if you will, the terror of seeing your child, who should be safely tucked in her bed, suddenly lifted into the air by an unseen force. An invisible hand playing with the family's fear and sanity seemed to have taken control of their home. And it wasn't just the levitation that sent shivers down their spines. The house seemed to have a mind of its own, as inexplicable fires started out of nowhere. It was as if some malevolent entity was attempting to burn their lives to the ground, both literally and metaphorically. Picture the Gooden family, their eyes wide with fear, as they helplessly watched their home being consumed by these unexplainable fires. Their sense of safety and security was replaced with an overwhelming dread. These incidents were just the tip of the iceberg. Objects would move on their own, doors would slam shut without anyone nearby, and disembodied voices echoed through their home. The Gooden family was trapped in a relentless cycle of fear, their home no longer a haven, but a stage for the poltergeist's terrifying performance. The escalation of these paranormal activities didn't go unnoticed. Word spread around Bridgeport and beyond, drawing the attention of curious neighbors, local news outlets, and even paranormal investigators. The once quiet and unassuming Gooden home was thrust into the limelight. It became a spectacle for the world to witness, a real-life horror show. As the paranormal activities reached their peak, the Goodens found themselves at the center of a media frenzy. The Bridgeport Poltergeist on Lindley Street had become a phenomenon that was impossible to ignore, turning the Gooden family's life into a chilling tale of the supernatural. In desperation, the Goodens reached out to the local police, thrusting the Bridgeport Poltergeist into the public eye. As the reports of unexplainable events continued to escalate, the Bridgeport Police Department found themselves in unfamiliar territory. This was no ordinary case of burglary or vandalism, but something far more perplexing. The investigation was headed by two seasoned officers who, despite their years on the force, were ill-equipped to tackle the world of the paranormal. Skepticism was their initial reaction. After all, it's in a cop's nature to look for logical explanations. Yet as they delved deeper into the case, even the most rational minds were challenged. Inanimate objects were seen moving on their own. Doors would slam shut without any visible force, and strange sounds echoed through the house. The officers, bound by their duty to protect and serve, found themselves grappling with a force they couldn't handcuff or hold in a cell. Word of the bizarre happenings spread fast, piquing the interest of the public and media alike. The small house on Lindley Street was suddenly besieged by curious onlookers, eager reporters, and a host of self-proclaimed ghost hunters. Among them were two names that would go on to become synonymous with the paranormal: Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens, already well known in the field of paranormal investigation, took a keen interest in the case. They spent countless hours at the Gooden residence, documenting their findings and performing their own spiritual assessments. Their conclusion? The Goodens were indeed dealing with a poltergeist, a mischievous and often disruptive spirit. However, their claims were met with as much skepticism as they were fascination. Critics pointed to the lack of concrete evidence, the absence of scientific explanation. Yet the Warrens remained steadfast in their beliefs, supported by the Goodins and their own experiences. Despite the extensive investigation, the source of the strange happenings remained a mystery, leading to a multitude of theories. The Bridgeport Poltergeist case, still unsolved, continues to be a point of heated debate and intrigue in the world of the paranormal. In the aftermath of the chilling events, the Goodin family and the public were left with more questions than answers. In the quiet wake of the storm, the Bridgeport Poltergeist case settled into the annals of history, yet the echoes of the inexplicable occurrences still resonate. The events that unfolded on Lindley Street sparked a flurry of theories, each more bewildering than the last, trying to explain the unexplainable. From the scientific skeptics attributing the phenomena to natural causes or elaborate hoaxes, to the paranormal enthusiasts steadfastly claiming the presence of an otherworldly entity, the spectrum of explanations was as wide as the Grand Canyon. The most dominant theory was that the Goodin family's young daughter Marcy was at the epicenter of the occurrences, potentially a poltergeist herself. The skeptics, however, dismissed this, pointing out the lack of solid evidence. Yet, the believers held on, citing numerous eyewitness accounts of the inexplicable incidents. The Goodin family, their lives turned upside down, were caught in the crossfire of these debates. The public scrutiny took a toll on them, their once peaceful existence replaced by a life under a relentless spotlight. But if anything, the experience strengthened their bond, creating a fortress of unity against the outside world. Even now, the Bridgeport Poltergeist remains one of the most intriguing and unexplainable paranormal cases in history. The saga of Lindley Street, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, continues to captivate and confound us in equal measure. Decades later, the Bridgeport Poltergeist continues to baffle and intrigue. We're left to wonder, what if these paranormal events happened to us? Would we have the courage to confront them, or would we succumb to fear? Consider the eerie silence of your home late at night, the creaking of an old floorboard, the rustling of leaves outside your window. Could it be something more? As we delve into the mysteries of the unknown, one question remains: are you ever truly alone in your home?